The trait of narcissism in humanity, when it's in proper doses, is a benefit to leadership, to propelling humanity forward. Narcissism is basically like a rose colored glasses bias where you're confident in your specialness, you're confident in your talent, you're confident that you can do things and deserve them, right? Um, we evolve the capacity for delusional narcissism because it's a benefit to um, propelling the species forward. Studies show all males have a narcissistic bias when engaging females they're attracted to, meaning if a facial gesture is neutral or ambiguous, most males, when they are attracted to a target, will bias perception of those gestures as positive and inviting. And it's obvious why that would be the case because if males have to compete for reproduction, so if you have a narcissistic bias in your favor that the target is into you, um, that will give you the confidence to engage and then perhaps make it true. Does that make sense? So let's say a male likes a female, like he sees across the room, and she's just standing there. If his mind is perceiving what she's doing as I like you, he's more likely to go over there confidently and engage, right? And then it can actually be manifest as true. Now, the flip side of this is feeling entitled to women, being convinced women like you, even if they say they don't. And that's how you get a lot of these other side situations where you're harassing a woman, where you're convinced this woman likes you, but she actually doesn't. Um, yeah, so narcissism, right? Whether in reproductive conquest or art, music, engineering, if you have a little dose of it, it actually helps you succeed. And that's why, especially males, are polarized to narcissism, right? You can have narcissistic females, but it's one of those personality traits that's much more male because of how necessary it is for even reproduction. What's going on in the world today is people who are stratified for pathological degrees of narcissism are in control. And this is where narcissism stops being like a boost of confidence to actually do good things in society, to actually invent things, to actually make the art, to actually approach a woman who does like you. But when you were initially just seeing her, she didn't even see you or know anything about you. Um, that's healthy narcissism. We have today in American society is pathological narcissism, and they're mostly males with some females. And these people can be proud of shame. They can be proud of lies. They can be proud of a fake image just as much as a real one. Trump is an example. People with healthy levels of narcissism would not be proud of bullying someone into giving them the Nobel Peace Prize. They would be too in touch with they didn't really earn it. Nobody really wants to give it to them, and they did nothing to earn it. Healthy narcissism would inspire you to do things to actually win the Nobel Peace Prize. Pathological narcissism is where you literally don't care what's done, just what people say, because you're so pathologically focused on your image in society and ego, whether it's real or not, that you could be proud of stealing a Nobel Peace Prize because it's a prize. And all you're seeing is the top layer. I rule society. I'm the best. I win. I get everything I want. And I even have the Nobel Peace Prize. That's pathological narcissism. Where like the image is fake. You know it's not real, but you're just as proud of it as if you really earned it. And what's going on is everyone in the Illuminati is way, way out there in narcissism. You have people like, and it's not just MAGA. Don't fool yourself. It's the liberals too. Look at someone like Tim Onion. Every day, this guy goes on Blue Sky, like, I'm so proud of what I did with the onion. I made the onion, and he didn't. He was a 12-year-old Mark Cuban molested, made into a Satan cult special darling That's literally his backstory. Mark Cuban scattered him online at 12. He got fondled and did the weird Satan child ritual thing. And all ever since he was a little kid, just making connections with global evil, right? And he does nothing at the Onion. They just installed him there. And to prove what I'm saying is true, this guy is so out of touch with what goes on at the Onion. He has no idea. In the way Trump has no idea what's really going on, who's pushing him around. He doesn't care. As long as people are saying you're the king, you won the Nobel Peace Prize, he's satisfied. Garbage or gems are the same to these people. If the top image layer is you're very special, you control things, you're a winner. That's all they need. And this is why the Illuminati surrounds themselves with narcs, because you can push them around so easy. Tim Onion can be proud of the Onion despite doing nothing there. Trump can be proud of the Nobel Peace Prize despite stealing it. Because narcs only care about the top layer, who you know, what people say. As long as that's kosher, they don't care if it's really a pile of dung underneath all that bullshit. And to prove what I'm saying is true, that Tim Onion does nothing at the Onion. Uh, his own artists make fun of him. Like my favorite Onion piece was they one of their artists drew a scene of drunk frat boys, white frat boys, and on the floor sleeping they drew Tim Onion. I loved it. I was like, I'm so proud of my magazine. I know what Tim Onion is. He's a CEO. And if you've worked for a corporation, you know what a CEO is. It's somebody who's out of touch with the workers. They think they run this place. They think they know how to do what a CNA does and a nurse does. They don't know how to do shit. Half these people don't even have training in the thing they're managing. They're just money connections being installed different places. I'll tell you, I worked at healthcare corporations, and half these fucking administrators and people at a high level, they don't have any healthcare education. They don't know shit, but they think they do. And they make stupid decisions all the time. And that's kind of like Tim Onion. He's not an artist. He's not a satirist. He wrote fake journal pieces that just got popular because, again, he was fondled by Mark Cuban, so he got in the Satan Club. And he doesn't know anything about what's going on there. I know it. And I knew it in my soul as an actual worker. He's on there puffing himself up. He makes the end. And then his own artists are drawing him as a drunk frat boy lying on the ground. I half wonder if that drunk frat boy image was like a half nod, like we all know you got drugged and raped, because that's what these people do. Listen to the woman claiming to be Epstein's niece. What they do to me is what they do to each other. They love to use mind wipe drugs and do weird sexual rituals. So I half wonder if the reason they in the frat boy secret society, like they literally drew a white frat boy secret society in college. What could that possibly allude to? And they drew him on the floor, passed out and drooling. So, I think not only are they making fun of the fact he's just like this nothing money narcissist taking credit for the Onion while they do the real work, and this guy has no drawing skills, no art skills. He's not an artist. He's not a satirist. He wrote a few articles because Mark Cuban installed him in outfits before he was moved to Chicago in the Onion. And I half wonder if the drawing of him unconscious is like, we all know it. This is what they do. They drug and rape. Like, what they did to me is what they do to each other. If you don't fucking believe me, listen to the woman claiming to be Epstein's niece. I believe her. I'm going to tell you why I believe her. Because after she made that video, she's just gone. Like, they slowly kind of like killed her presence. Like, if you go on TikTok, she has like no followers. And she's broke. So I kind of believe her. Do. I do believe her that she was telling the truth, because if she was doing it for money, she'd be hammering it and trying to make like keep talking. But she just said it once, and now she's just like making videos about her life. I believe her. Um, yeah. So that's something they've been doing. And I half wonder if when they drew him unconscious and drooling, they were like alluding to how he got to be the leader. Like when you were making your little frat boy connections as a kid in your secret society, some shit went down, you were unconscious. Either way, his honors clearly don't respect him. In the sense, even without that leap, if they were alluding to something like that, like while these evil white men were doing their little elite college rituals, you were unconscious and shit happened because they drew him as the only one unconscious, right? On the floor. The other ones were partying, so makes you wonder what the next scene could be. Even if they weren't referencing that, they were definitely referencing him as a out of touch, doing nothing, asleep at the wheel, on the floor in a web of rich white college connections. So, and then he goes online all up too. He's like, I love the onion. I'm so grateful for the onion. I made the onion. I made it. I made it. It's the best onion, the most greatest onion. And it's like, how are you different from Trump, bro? Your own people are mocking you, right? And again, as a worker, I know how it is when when these people do nothing and don't know what the fuck's going on come out. They just have money and connections. Everyone's like, and then when they leave, it's like this motherfucker. They don't know shit. What's shit? They don't know their ass from their elbow, and half the decisions they make are fucking stupid. And then we gotta tell them how stupid they are. Yeah. So narcissism, healthy in small doses, gives you confidence to do good things, give you confidence to try. Pathological degrees of narcissism, you could be bragging like Trump, you stole a Nobel Peace Prize, or bragging you made the onion when your own artists hate you. Yeah, and they're drawing you as a drunk Illuminati frat boy on the floor. So the problem is the money holders who make society, they install these people in different places. They look for narcs because narcs can be sitting on a pile of human shit. As long as you say it's golden candy and get everyone to agree, they are satisfied. A person with healthy levels of narcissism will not be. They're able to criticize their work. They're able to see the flaws in what they do. They have a positive bias. They can succeed and do great things, but they also are in tune and open to reality. Pathological narcs are not. It could be a pile of smelly diarrhea full of giardia, and they will be happy with the story that it is gold if everybody around them's telling them so. And that's why you see Trump do what he does, and that's why you see other Illuminati orbiters do what they do. Like they don't care about reality. They are entirely attuned to what they can make people say, and it's very closely related to sociopathy, narcissism, narcissistic psychopaths. Like I'm so great, so I'm God and can kill you, and they don't feel it, or they are completely out of touch with what really goes on. And America got to where it is by capital holders continuously selecting for narcs to install in positions until nobody cares what kind of society they lead. Nobody cares what really done. Nobody cares if they really earned what they have. Nobody cares if they produce good things or not. As long as everybody's saying the lies that they're special, that they're leaders, that they're CEOs, they don't care. And like I said, healthy narcissism that propelled humanity forward was like, I can make the best art. I know I'm a good artist, but they can look at their own art and be like, that's shit too. These people can't. These people, you can present them a box of human waste and tell them this is gold you made, and they'll believe it if everyone's saying it. They can't criticize themselves. They can't see when they're actually not doing good things. And that's how a society got to where it is. Just a bunch of narcs sitting around lying to each other, and the workers can see they're nothing, but they can't do anything because it's just a bulwark of narcs running society into the ground. And as long as they can control the lie, they're satisfied. They will feel not a pang of doubt, not a pang of guilt. They'll convince themselves that box of diarrhea is gold. Will convince himself that Nobel Peace Prize, he earned it. Tim Onion will convince himself he made the onion, even while his own artists make fun of him. Just saying.